Oh, here we go. It is time for the 2024 Unreal Awards. This is our second year in a row doing the Unreal Awards. The first year was amazing. The second year has not disappointed as well. We have had close to 100 submissions this year across all of the categories. And I'm thrilled to say that you guys are in for a treat. We will publish the winners on our site as well too. And as a reminder for the Unreal Awards, the reason that we do this is working in automotive can be crazy. I work on the software side, but in speaking with our customers, our dealers, everyone in the industry, you guys have some just crazy experiences. So crazy sometimes they seem unreal. Like, how could they happen? And we want to provide a platform for those absolutely unreal stories, hence the Unreal Awards. And up for grabs is this amazing silver, it's real metal, but it's not real silver trophy, as well as a $250 Amazon gift card to the winner of each category. And of course, bragging rights for the year. Let's get going here. Yeah, it's about time. All right. Your host today, this is me, Matthew, Chief Marketing Officer at TradePending. I am in our world headquarters here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, also the TradePending TV studio. I really think that we got to do this in person next time because it's funny having me read these things, but if we can be in person and have people tell their stories, I think that's going to be even better. As we always do, we'll record this, we'll share it out if you have questions as we go. I'm not sure what you're going to ask about, but you can ask about it. And if you want, go ahead and throw in the chat right now just who you are and where you're from. It's always great to see who's popping in and who's not. So, if you aren't familiar with trade pending, the very quick skinny here, we want to make it easy for dealers' websites to convert more traffic into leads. We want to make it easier for the sales teams to sell. We want to grow your service business, and we want to do all that, make it easy for you, and do it all under one roof. And the product suite in which we do that here is, you can see the Make Your Website Work Better pile there. We're most known for our trade-in tool. It's called Trade these days. Guaranteed single price offers, payment calculator on steroids. On the sales enablement side, making selling easier. The digital brochures with auto buy are definitely been a hit this year. And of course, the video for sales product there. Video super hot right now and using that to communicate during the sales cycle. Very much also on the service side as well. You can see it there. And then service offers, making it really easy to manage all your service specials in one spot and have them sync across all your marketing channels. That is the pitch. Let's get to it. After we remind you that if you're a trade pending customer and you refer us somebody, we'll send you a trade pending shirt just for that. And I think I actually have one right here. They're really nice. They're very soft. It says trade pending on it. And if that other dealership signs up, we'll send you that really nice Yeti cooler. And now we can get to the good stuff. We are going to start with the craziest test drive story. Y'all, this amazing submission, some excellent writing. I've got to put on the specs to read these things, so forgive me here as we go. Honorable mention. Let's get going. Rob at Volvo Princeton. With work in this dealership, a fella comes in to trade in his car. This is story time, y'all. Story time. He recognizes him from somewhere. They do a walk around, they do a test drive, talk about pricing. He says, I feel like I know you from somewhere. Turns out, Shazam, it's freaking Goose from Top Gun, ER. How cool is that? Anthony Edwards, a very nice guy. They put a deal together. The younger salespeople in a dealership did not know who Goose is or was. I feel that's shame on you, younger generation. Everybody should know who Goose is. Talk to me, Goose. Next honorable mention, Thomas from Freedom Motors. All right. Customer is bringing in their vehicle to trade. They need a new wheelchair accessible SUV. They need to get it from Freedom Motors. They were also big fans of fish and aquarium prior to bringing the car in that morning. They had been to the pet store, had purchased a new tank, got some new fish, etc. Later that afternoon, boom, time to bring the car in to trade it in. Well, Thomas notices a little bit of moisture in the back there. Upon further investigation, they lift up the spare tire compartment, full of water sloshing around in there, as well as live fish, who were fortunately alive. Thomas, thank you for submitting that one. Next honorable mention from Jason, Big Sky Harley Davidson. Had a customer who had just purchased a new Harley Davidson Street Glide. You guys, I got my notes here. There's so many great stories here. Custom painted, very cool motorcycle. Sales manager says, "Hey, why don't you take this thing across town, deliver it, and then drive the trade-in back?" Of course, Jason is jumping at this opportunity because it's a super cool ride. Pulls in the driveway, the guy greets him, lifts up the garage door like he's on The Price is Right, and boom, there it is, this tiny little baby blue scooter. What makes this even better is Jason confesses and admits to being 250 pounds. So you put this big man on a tiny scooter, couldn't get it to go over 25 miles an hour. He is having to Fred Flintstone this thing like up the hills to get it over. And the most exciting part about this rolls up in front of a tattoo parlor. Got a bunch of previous customers sitting outside there, despite the fact he's wearing his leather helmet and his leather jacket and his helmet. They immediately recognize him. First of all, that's just a funny visual to be dressed like that on this little tiny scooter. They bust him. Jason, all he can do is just nod, own it like a boss, and he still catches hell for it to this day. Jason, that's a great one. I have a feeling we're going to see you again here in a little bit. Next honorable mention, Ryan from Big Island Motors. A couple brings in two vehicles. They want to trade them both in. It's quite a long process, about 6 hours. They finally drive off with their new vehicle. Watching them leave, Ryan has this sense of satisfaction. He's like, you know what? I've done good work today. Right after they pull out of the dealership, car cuts them off. A couple other cars swoop up right aside them. Man, people hop out, drawing weapons on this car. Turns out it was the FBI. God bless. Crazy. All right. Next honorable mention here before we get to the winner. Emily. Where are you going, Emily? There we go. Customer comes in, says he is a U.S. Marshal, comes in with the trade. Say to go through the usual process. Come to find out that the trade is still registered to another dealership in a neighboring state. Call the dealership. Said the customer had taken that car on a test drive and had never returned it. Uh-oh. Not only that, the vehicle he tried to trade that other dealership was also stolen from another dealership. Of course, they verify he's not a U.S. Marshal. They call the police. Police are saying, "Hey, sit tight, don't say anything, just stall." So they stall. Eventually, the freaking SWAT team shows up, a bunch of police officers, do what they got to do, arrest the guy. They go out there to get the car ready to take back to the original dealership that he had stolen it from, and he had left them a present in the front seat. And henceforth, this episode was known as the Poop Bandit. And we're just going to leave it at that. All right. All right, winner. Congratulations, Travis from Varney Ford. You are the winner of the first category for craziest trade-in story. Here you go. Local business owner bought a new Explorer for his daughter. His daughter runs his restaurant for him. She came in, signed the paperwork, everything's done. She can't take everything right now. She's not going to take it on delivery. So leaves the trade in there. It's eventually going to go to auction. So they just leave it sitting there. What she neglected to tell them and what they neglected to see was that there were 5 bags of trash in the back, restaurant garbage, as well as a case of scallops. So it's a summertime, 90-degree heat, sitting out there baking for a couple of weeks. When they eventually get it out there to get it prepped and ready to take to auction, you can't get within 10 feet of it because the odor is so bad. Repeated cleanings, repeated fumigations, replaced the carpet, smell never came out. It's a case of the deadly scallops. Congratulations again, Travis. You win the category. All right. How we doing? I hope we're doing all right. I'm having fun. The readers definitely hurt my eyes. It's the curse of getting old there. All right. Craziest test drive story. Crash test dummy here entering in his story. Hope you can appreciate that little dig there. All right. Here we go. Before we get into some honorable mentions, we do want to call out the fact that a lot of you have been on near-death experiences on test drives. Thank you for submitting your stories. You are literally putting your life on the line. You're putting your life in other people's hands. I have the greatest respect for what you do and the fact that you survived and lived to see another day. Thank you for submitting all of these. All right, honorable mention number one, Brittany from Walker Automotive. This this is an epic tale. I'm gonna get through it here pretty quick, but Brittany, you've done an amazing job writing a great story. I'm riffing upon what you've given us here, and it was great. It's a regular Wednesday at the dealership until it wasn't. The moment that guy walks in, let's call this person Stan, and he rolls up in some kind of vehicle. Hard to tell. The front is a rusted out VW Beetle. The middle looks like a station wagon, and the back is obviously a pickup truck. Very Frankenstein. Seems like it's duct taped together. And Stan rolls up and says, Stan is a fictional name. I'm ready to trade this beauty in. He is proud of himself, very confident. Brittany, being the professional she is, says, "Oh, well, what kind of vehicle is it exactly?" Right? So, hey, it's custom job. It's the best of everything out there. The front's German, the middle's good old American, and the back is borrowed. And Brittany can't stop herself, like borrowed, like stolen. Of course, Stan shoots her a look back, says, "No, borrowed from my cousin's scrapyard." All right. So anyway, they obviously this one's going to be tough to trade in, but Stan's got his eye on a Mustang GT. This is where things go from quirky to downright dangerous. As soon as they hit the highway, she knows something is absolutely wrong. He slams on the gas like they're in the NASCAR race. The car roars to life, tires are squealing, G-forces are going back to her seat. She is 0 to 50 in 3 heart attacks. I mean, great writing, Brittany. Well done. So, I mean, I was captivated. Her knuckles are gripping white. She's gripping the door handle. Stan, you might want to slow down a little bit. Stan's laughs like, nah, don't worry. I like to drive fast and live even faster. Take some sharp turns. They're squealing all over her. The car's fishtailing. She's saying like, hey, I might not survive this test drive. And Stan slams on the brakes, screeching home, almost hit a fire hydrant. They sit there in stunned silence, and he looks at her and says, I think I'll take it. So, congratulations, Brittany, on surviving that test drive. I know there's a little more to the story here. We're gonna move on. This is Brittany. This is why we need you in person to tell this story. I can't do it justice. All right. Next honorable mention over to Jonathan at Fred Martin. He took an elderly woman on a test drive in an Accord, and that's because she had been driving a Chrysler. Figured that would be an easy transition. Well, that's what you get for thinking, Jonathan. They drove for a couple blocks. She is just all over the road, thinks they are going to die. She eventually says, I cannot buy this car because there's no hood ornament on it. She was using the hood ornament, essentially looking at that as her point of reference on the road to know where she could drive. She was only looking the entire time she's been driving 4 or 5 feet in front of her. Jonathan, I'm glad you survived. Next honorable mention here, Felicia Acura of Baton Rouge. She titles this one the 80 mile an hour punchline, a ZDX test drive to remember. And the fact that you even titled it, that definitely worked in your favor. Started out as a typical test drive of the ZDX. Customer seems cool, calm, and collected. She says, like, hey, if you want to feel a little bit of that, instant torque, a little punch, why don't you just punch it when we get out on the open road? Unfortunately, the customer took her probably a little too seriously. They hit that stretch of open road. He really punches it in a blink of an eye, boom, 80 miles an hour. She's like, whoa, 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 whoa. She's trying to stay calm and friendly, maintaining that professional demeanor. Good Lord, I don't know how you did it. But of course, customer's having the time of his life. He's grinning ear to ear. The entire test drive, he's just got this thing pegged at 80 miles an hour. Every straightaway curve, approaching red lights, she's saying like, hey, maybe you want to test out the regenerative braking on this thing. It's really great. And smooth cruising ability. Nothing seemed to work. He is on a mission just to tear ass on this test drive. They get back to the dealership. Felicia's hair is on fire, standing on end. The customer hops out, says like, man, this thing flies. Felicia, maintaining her professional demeanor, says, yes, it sure does. And he bought it. Good job, Felicia, not freaking out, and good job surviving to see another day. All right, we are now arriving at our winner for the craziest test drive story. This one is hands down one of the most unreal, most insane things I've ever heard. John Stevens, Gator Ford. I've been to Gator Ford. I've been there in person. It's an awesome place. The people there were fantastic. They treated us lovely. We actually did a bunch of video there too. You can find it on the internet. Let's tell Jonathan's story though. A beautiful iridescent Mustang GT convertible. A very professional, attractive blonde woman walks into the dealership. She's dressed really nice, a jacket suit, wearing a skirt. She wants to test drive this Mustang GT. Jonathan's normal test drive route is about 15 minutes, a little bit of highway, a little bit of, curvy country road out there. So while they get out there on the country road, they've got the top down because, I mean, it's Florida. It's a nice day. It's a convertible. A freaking yellow corn snake falls out of a tree into her lap. How terrifying is that? I hate snakes. Danger noodles, nope rope, whatever you want to call them, they're awful. Of course, she is freaking out. She's stomping all over the ground trying to shake this thing out. Of course, her foot is hitting the gas pedal. So they're going faster and faster down the road. Jonathan, in a moment of clarity, grabs the wheel, or grabs the snake, chucks that thing out. Get back to the dealership, and of course, she just walks off. She's done. She's not coming back. Jonathan's boss starts giving him a grief about not doing a proper turnover, a proper TO. Of course, Jonathan recaps that story to him. They get a laugh about it for years and years. And I think the moral of the story here, John, is you don't do test drives with the top down. Congratulations, John. You win a trophy, $250 Amazon gift card. All right, the next couple categories are going to go a little bit faster. Thank you, everybody, for sticking with us. Things I said to a customer that I probably shouldn't have. Thank you, everyone, for your honesty. I love working in automotive. Y'all are freaking hilarious. Good people, too. Hello, sir. It was a she. Don't forget I'm Italian and I know where you live. You got to be kidding me. All right, I'm sorry. I'm making myself laugh. I hope you can appreciate that. Wow, the car smells really bad. That's probably not going to get some smiles from the customer there. And there's plenty of room in the trunk and get in and see all the space. Todd, there's creepier things you could have said. But man, that is up there in terms of creepy, but it's really freaking funny. I hope you guys have all learned from from your mistakes, if you want to call them that. All right, here we go. Honorable mention. Jason from Big Sky makes his second appearance here. Selling the Roxor SXS. He's trying to get the customer to upgrade to one of the automatic models. They were about 5,000 bucks more expensive. But as he's talking to the customer, he says, well, hey, you know what? Automatic, it's way easier to shoot gophers, drink beer than when you're driving an automatic. Customer looks at him, cocks his head a little bit, bewildered, no reply whatsoever. Jason finally thinks, to ask something you should ask him before. So what do you do for a living? And he responds back, I'm a game warden. Good one, Jason. Thank you for sharing that story. And the winner, Morgan, Paul's Motorsports. Trophy is yours. Gift card is yours. Here's your story. Fellow walks in, starts describing the exact vehicle that he wants, all the way down to the last bolt. Morgan's listening to him, taking him totally seriously. And the guy says, well, it also needs to come with a secondary, a backup horn in case the first one sounds too aggressive. Without skipping a beat, Morgan says, well, sure, we got those in stock right next to the unicorn fuel injectors. Silence ensues. After 10 seconds, customer just bursts out laughing. Turns out he had a great sense of humor. Thankfully, they ended up becoming friends, but that totally could have gone a different way. Morgan, I'm glad you have learned from your experience there. All right, boom, that is done with the stories there. Thank you, everyone, for submitting those. Again, we had close to 100 submissions for the Unreal Awards, but now to the final category, most creative video here. We got some great ones here. So honorable mention. Let me see. I wonder if I'm missing a slide here. I got something I want to show you in case it doesn't pop up here. We are just going to let the video do the talking. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but you're going to get the feel for it here.
Western.
right, drop the beat, Dan.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my car down old Paris Road. I'm gonna trade it in for a new one. I'm gonna take my car down old Paris Road. I'm gonna trade it in for a new one. I got the kiddos in the back, trailer is attached. Tires matty black, got the rims that's black to match. Flying past
So
the
good.
horse.
And the video
You can
editing.
keep that Porsche.
Well done.
Burn out in
Well
the-
done. Let's go to the next one here. All right, let's see if I can make it go to the next one. All right, Tony, Sarah Hyland, Nissan. I've seen a few of these. First time I saw this one made me chuckle 100%. Let's take a look at this one real quick. Let me escape out of here. Let's just go to it right here. Oh, move it Zoom thing. All right, I got my sound on. Let's see if I can make this work. Here we go.
Great specials all month long.
So good. Excellent submission.
Great specials.
Yeah. All right, let's get back into this party here. All right, well done. Next up, Ryan Hall, Fort Collins, Kia. Let's take it away.
Oh, give me a car where a tank will drive far and the climate blows both hot and cold. That's safe in a wreck with the latest
that fence isn't
tech and
electrified.
a style, both classic and bold. Come on, come in and see how.
Oh my gosh. We share this stuff out. You can watch it in its entirety. You nailed it. Well done. I just love the fact that you folks are willing to just put themselves out there like that. All right. We are here to our winner. Let's go. Do I even know how to work Zoom anymore? Quincy Foster, Clay, Cooley, Rockwell, Hyundai. This one's amazing. Let's go.
I just want to find a car that has blind spot warning, rear cross traffic alert, and rear automatic braking. Is that too much to ask? I want to drive a Nissan. You should buy a Nissan. We should own a Nissan. Let me tell you a little something about a Nissan. Whip so cold, but it's hotter than the sun. My 2020 Sentra. My 2020 Sentra. Starting at 2420, it's a good day. My 2020 Sentra. My 2020 Sentra. Starting at 2420, it's a good day. Hold on, wait. I'm about to.
Oh my God, it's so good. It is so good. Somebody's throwing stuff into some chat here. Let's my 2020 Central. What do we got here in the chat? I gotta see this. Oh. Anyway, holy cow. Quincy, you win the trophy, you win the gift card. Your amazing work has not gone unnoticed. Now if we go, come on, there we go. All right. If you want to see more video, you got to check out TradePending TV. Sometimes we're creative like that. Most of the times not. You guys just totally knocked it out of the park this year. We got to find a way to do this in person next time. And if you made it this far and you do not have your own Wobbly Bird yet, your TradePending mascot, hit up that URL. We will send you one. We probably just need something to send to all those honorable mentions as well because you guys absolutely crushed it. I'm Matthew with TradePending. Thank you for being with me today. Let's see if I can hit this Q&A now. There we go. Oh, yes. I agree, Morgan. Nishan should feature that. Thank you, everybody. We will see you next time.